Alright, we've done Greymon, we've done Garurumon, but now I'm kind of skipping to the end a little bit because I'm curious how many people are going to stick for all 8 Digimon. So I want to get the ones that you're really excited for out of the way, and hopefully the core audience will stick around for the others. Yes, in today's video, we're trying to find out what would happen if Angemon could use all the Crests from Digimon Adventure. What is up, digital companions? My name is Karn EX and welcome back to another video, and I would like to remind you that I have a Patreon. What YouTuber wants money? Crazy. The Patreon has been so well received by you guys and I do really appreciate it. Obviously, we've got a bunch of reward tiers. The lowest tier, just $3, the price of a cup of coffee. You can get early access to all my videos on this channel, and the tiers go up from there. Early access to second channel and ultra videos. And indeed tiers like the Deva, where you can directly pay for pieces of art that appear in my custom art videos and be credited for them, meaning that we can do more custom art videos, take more risks, like the armor fixing series, which I am going to bring back, but it's doing less and less well each time I make one, so I'd love that security from Patreon if you're able to support. Of course, I understand it is a hard time for everyone, so you're under no obligation to become a patron. I'm saving up for a wedding this year. Thank you to everyone for checking out patreon.com/KarnEX. So, Angemon Digivolving with all the Crests. I'm going to briefly recap what the whole modus operandi here is, but basically, in Digimon Adventure, the original series, and the reboot, the Crest triggered evolution. Now, in the reboot, it seems that the Crests trigger every stage of evolution, but looking back at 1999, while the Crests may be a factor of evolution, the physical tags and Crests don't become a requirement for evolution until a champion goes to the ultimate level. Now, it's very likely that the Crests themselves don't have a ton of influence over the form the Digimon takes. However, I do think it could partially be a component. If you look at Courage, the Sun, the Fire, as Greymon digivolves into Metal Greymon and War Greymon, it doubles down on its fiery elements, getting rocket launches, and when it becomes War Greymon, getting the Gaia Force. We see Gatomon with the Crest of Light become a literal angel. I mean, that influence feels very strong in my opinion. While Gatomon always has the potential to become Angelwomon, I feel like the Crest of Light specifically is what influences that portion. Also, when we look at Digimon Adventure 02, the Crests are all represented in Digi-Eggs, and these armor Digi-Eggs do have traits associated with them. Fire and dragons and dinosaurs for Courage, plant life and traditional Japanese elements for Sincerity. So I'm going to do a merging of what we see in Adventure and 02 to find out what might happen in a hypothetical situation if Angemon could use the other Crests. And beginning with Courage, well, I want to reference Fire, while still, as with all these evolutions, keeping something of Angemon about them. I don't want to completely abandon him. In the same way you see Greymon become Metal Greymon, Garurumon become Garurumon, and indeed Angemon become Magna Angemon, I would like to keep something of his traits, whether it's his humanoid nature, his angel nature, or something vaguely holy. That is why for Courage, I am going to have Angemon become Arc-High Angemon. A relatively new Digimon uses a Dominimon pre-evolution, and it's said to be of equal rank to Holy Angemon and Angelwomon. But most importantly for our connect to the Crest of Courage and Tai and Agumon, Arc-High Angemon has red armor and indeed is carrying this holy rod that is lit with flames in this sacred staff. And indeed one of its special moves is Heaven's Flame with a support move of Brave Aura. You know, like bravery. Courage. Not Agumon Bond of Bravery. And it also has a crown which maybe from the top might resemble the Crest of Courage. I don't know, that's probably a stretch. But overall, there's a lot of elements here that really do make Arc-High Angemon kind of feel like the Courage Angel, so I'm into it. As for a Mega though, well yeah, we could just go with Dominimon, that would be fine, but I think it lacks some of the Courage elements. I heavily am in favor of Jesmon here. While Jess stands for Justice Edge Swordsman, even Kenji Watanabe has acknowledged that it also could be a reference to Jesus. And with Jesmon's red and white coloration, it being a holy knight, and its flaming companions, I can definitely see how this would be a fantastic Arc-High Angemon evolution and an Angemon Courage Mega. It's my personal pick, but I will throw out another Digimon I considered, and that was Gallantmon Crimson Mode. It's a big red angel winged Mega. I think it's pretty great, but it does have like the digital hazard, which is an element we don't have to really fold in. I do like it though as being the Mega of Guilmon, who in many ways is a send up to Agumon, but my personal pick is Jesmon. Then is the Crest of Friendship, TK's brother Matt's crest, and I always like to do something a little bit special with these connections. And I'm going to start with the Mega here to kind of explain my thought process, and that is that I think it would be great if Angemon with the Crest of Friendship became /Angemon. First of all, because /Angemon has an incredibly blue focused design, matching the coloration of the Crest of Friendship and the Gabumon evolution line. It also, of course, is /Angemon. It is covered from head to toe and wing to tip in blades. And in 02, when we see the Digi-Egg of Friendship, it obviously has this big spike coming off it, and when we look at all the Friendship Armor Digivolutions, their connection to Garurumon seems to be spikes, either manifesting as ice, which is an element we do associate with more so Metal Garurumon, or sometimes lightning. Either way, this spiky motif seems very at the forefront of the Crest of Friendship, which you could add back to the connection to the Crest of Friendship and / Angemon. It is nice to have Angemon still become an Angemon when using TK's brother's crest, and I think that lines up nicely. Bridging the gap though, difficult. I ultimately settled on Grademon for a couple of reasons. Mainly due to its Digimon reference book listing, which says that its royal blue cape is a badge of honor and proof of its achievements in battle. In addition to this, while Grademon is not a holy Digimon or an angel, one of its special moves is the Cross Blade, which consists of a swift cross-shaped slicing blow. The blue theming connects nicely into / Angemon, and of course Angemon itself has some blue on it too, and reinforces the friendship theme. And even though the Cross Blade is not like a Christian cross, you can still make that connection, and Grademon connects nicely into / Angemon with its swords, its blades. For love, fairly simple one. The Crest of Love has traits of birds, flying, sometimes fire elements with Birdramon and Phoenixmon to a degree, and again in Digimon Adventure 02 it is basically the armor and flying. This is why I did not use Hippogriffamon in the Garurumon video, because I think Angemon becoming Hippogriffamon with the Crest of Love is fantastic. This mythical beast Digimon, while not holy in its reference book listing, still looks incredibly holy. It looks like an angelic bird, and I think that works fantastically for an Angemon evolution, and tees us up for an old favorite, and I really did consider other picks here like Valdemon, that would be fine too, but I'm gonna go with Chronomon Holy Mode. A holy bird Digimon, great visual evolution for Hippogriffamon, and his bipedal looks a little bit more humanoid, matching the vibes of things like Seraphimon, but with that Crest of Love twist. Crest of Sincerity, grass. Well, I think Angemon should digivolve to Aegircusmon Green. I considered some other outliers like Ayatamon, however I think Aegircusmon Green being a potential pre-evolution of a god, admittedly a god in the Olympus 12 pantheon of Greek and Roman myth, still is a good connection in my opinion to Angemon. Angels, gods, there's a connection of theology. For the Mega though, I really have two options. My first is a very recent, like not even fully out yet Digimon, Kernamon or Cernamon. It is a grass deer with these trumpets for horns. And actually, while it might seem a little bit random, I'm connecting this first of all to Pegasusmon, the quadruped. I think Pegasusmon and Kernamon look very similar. But in addition to that, you could say that the horns that Kernamon has are the horns of heaven, aka the 7 trumpets. Trumpets and heaven go very hand in hand, are very closely associated, so I like that as an Angemon Mega with Sincerity. But another pick, of course, could be Bloom Lordmon, who is a Lord knightly feel, and I can definitely see how this could be an Angemon evolution too. I think Bloom Lordmon's a little bit more typically anime, but Kernamon I think is very fun, and I like folding in the Pegasusmon reference a little bit too. Okay, reliability, what am I gonna do here? Well, some of you probably already have an idea. There's not really a fantastic, I think, ultimate level to be a reliability evolution for Angemon, so I've gone with Divemon from Pulsemon's Dim card. It's said to be a Digimon that digivolved from research data that analyzes the techniques of world-class swimmers, and though it may look half fish, when on land it can walk on 2 legs, just like Angemon could. Although of course that's not a trait unique to Angemon, but you get what I mean. And it also says that despite its fierce appearance, it has a strong sense of fair play and is devoted to the pursuit of beauty in swimming. So this is a good guy. Well, far from angelic, if we're folding in the Crest of Reliability, which has elements of the ocean, as well as like fish with Gomamon and Plesiomon, or I guess reptiles with Plesiomon, and of course the Zudomon and Vikemon side, the electricity of Thor's hammer of Mjolnir, Divemon being a Pulsemon evolution on the Impulse City Dim does have an inherent connection to electricity. So I think that works, but really this is just a stopgap, a bridge to get us to the Mega, which of course is gonna be Marine Angemon. I could not use Marine Angemon here. Now technically, Marine Angemon is not connected to Angemon. It is not an Angemon subspecies. It gets its name instead from the Sea Angel. However, come on man, everyone's made this connection before between Angemon and Marine Angemon. If we've got the Crest of Reliability, which is so ocean themed, of course we're using Marine Angemon for the Mega. Get your head out your ass. Knowledge! The Crest of Knowledge is connected to, well, bugs, but also literally the crest is about knowledge. Izzy himself is incredibly knowledgeable and a computer whiz, which again leads me to having basically 2 thought processes here. First of all, Angemon becoming Aegircusmon Holy. As I said earlier with Aegircusmon Green, Aegircusmon Holy is a potential pre-evolution of Jupitermon. Yes, Jupiter, aka Zeus, the electric, the lightning god of the Greek and Roman pantheons, which connects nicely to the electro-shocker side of Tentomon and the Crest of Knowledge. Plus, Zeus, the Greek equivalent of Jupiter, is the father of Hercules, and while we do have Hercules Kabuterimon named after the Hercules beetle and Hercules the demigod. Really love that connection. I think that's a really nice line. Aegircusmon Holy being very appropriate appropriate for Angemon anyway. But if you would like something else, I did also consider having Angemon become Wisemon, literally tapping into its knowledge. Although Wisemon is kind of like a demon man, but anyway. And then finally becoming Ancient Wisemon, just to have a wise Digimon here connected to knowledge. However, I much prefer Angemon, Aegikismon Holy, and Jupitermon. And finally, that brings us to Light, the sister crest to the Crest of Hope, Kari's crest, one of the crests integral to Wargreymon and Metal Garurumon appearing in Digimon Adventure. And indeed, TK and Kari are connected through into 02, where they have very much matching pair armor evolutions. So I thought about having Angemon with the Crest of Light become Nightmon. Firstly, Nightmon actually has the Crest of Hope on his back, on his shield, which I think is a fun connect. However, yeah, I can see how this could instead be a Hope evolution, not a Light evolution. My thought process here is that Light and Hope are so similar. This would be like Light both adding traits to Angemon and becoming Nightmon, but also emboldening the traits of Hope, and of course defending the light, that concept. A knight in shining armor, literally shining because it's reflecting light, defending all that is good, defending the light of the world in a very Kingdom Hearts fashion. And hey, speaking of that, that means that the Mega will be Clavis Angemon. Listen, I can't resist a Kingdom Hearts reference. I'm Karn EX, I love Kingdom Hearts. If you want to hear me talk about Kingdom Hearts more, go over to Karn Ultra, my new channel, and subscribe, thanks. Clavis Angemon doesn't have a ton of connection to Light, but it is a big, huge angel with a golden key. I think a great Nightmon evolution, and I can just see this being an Angemon evolution with the Crest of Light regardless. Plus, I wanted to fold in more Angemon variants into this video where possible, and I do like this line. There's not a ton of lore connects in my opinion, but I think visually and thematically, and as far as like defending the light, warriors of light with hope in their heart, I think it worked great. So that is it, my evolution lines for Angemon if it used the rest of the crest in Digimon Adventure. For Courage, Angemon to Archaeangemon to Jesmon. For Friendship, Angemon to Grademon to /Angemon. For Love, Angemon to Hippogriffamon to Chronomon Holy Mode. For Sincerity, Angemon to Aegikismon Green to Kernamon or Bloom Lordmon. For Reliability, Angemon to Divemon to Marine Angemon. For Knowledge, Angemon to Aegikismon Holy to Jupitermon. And for Light, Angemon to Nightmon to Clavis Angemon. I wanted to use as many Angemon variants as I thought were possible, but I have reserved some for maybe future videos where we use the Crest of Hope for stuff. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below on these picks. Of course, they are far from objective. They're just things that I think would be fun, thematically, visually, etc. But I'm always curious to hear your picks. Be respectful about it. Don't be a dick. Thank you to my sovereigns, EDK14, for supporting this channel on patreon.com/KarnEX, and all my other patrons. You guys are absolutely killing it, as well as my YouTube channel members who are also amazing. Thank you all so much. And I'll see you next time when we go digital. Bye bye.